Hey y'all, we're back 3 times in one day. We are on a mission. We are on a roll 3 times in one day. Come on in on your way in. If you would hit the like, I would appreciate that so much. All right, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. 3 lives in one day. There was something to talk about. So get on in here and let's talk about it in the chat. On your way in, if you will, hit the like button. I would appreciate it. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Share this out. I'm so excited. We made our goal to 9K. Woohoo! 9K, and we're pushing to 10K. So the work is not done. We got to just keep pushing. I appreciate you guys being here. When you come in, if you would say hi to me, and again, hit the like. We're going to talk about it all. Now, I know that you guys have heard everything about the trial today. That's fine. We are still going to talk about it, give our opinions. So I'm going to give my girl Harlem a chance to get in, and then we just going to go in. What I also am going to do is I'm going to have the link down there in the chat. So if you guys want to come up and give your opinion, I know everybody's heard everything. So if you guys want to talk to us and come up on stage, I am dropping the link and you are welcome to come up with me in Harlem. So, oh, wait, I have already dropped the link if you want to come in and talk with me in Harlem. That would be amazing. Like, we like company over sometimes. Like, we like to talk to y'all. So come on over, hit the link, and come up on the stage with us.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Harlem, I'm good, and you?
Congratulations on your 9,000.
Thank you. Hi, Alberta. You're back. You're back. I appreciate you being here. Come on in, you guys. Thank you for being here. Yes, we made it 9,000, 9K. So we're just gonna keep pushing and we're gonna get there.
Yeah, you'll get there.
Huh?
I say you'll get there.
We'll get there. Baby steps. No rush. We've been kicking butt though. We've been kicking butt. Like I said, this is the third live today. So it's all about consistency. We'll get there. With
Right.
that said, we have a lot to talk about. So again, the link is in the chat. If y'all want to talk to us, we want to hear from you. Otherwise, me and Harlem just gonna chop it up. We're gonna give our opinions about everything that we can think of tonight. And so Harlem, thank you again for being here and for the information you always send me. I appreciate it.
Of course.
All right, y'all. So, all right, out the gate, we already know Capricorn Clark slam dunked her testimony today. It was a huge win for the prosecution, and it was a bad, long, sad day for the defense in Sean Combs. It was very obvious that it was a bad day, and there's a lot to talk about. There were a lot of celebrity names thrown around today. Very familiar names that we are aware of, that we know of. And so let's just jump right into it. And I'm telling you, as soon as Capricorn Clark got on that stand, she said, yes, I was kidnapped. Now, people are saying before today, like, where's the RICO? Like, where's the kidnapping? Because everybody thought, even myself, thought that the kidnap charge would be my microphone died. But anyway, you guys can hear me fine. They thought that the the kidnapping charge was going to be through Cassie. And Cassie didn't go as hard as Capricorn Clark went today. She gave us very specific things that happened to her today, things that we were not even privy to that happened today. So I think like that was the one of the missing pieces to the puzzle for the RICO. What do you think, Harlem? Why you responding, Harlem? I'm going to grab my mic and see if it'll work.
Oh yeah, they got the kidnapping because she was forcefully removed from her home with weapons. So yeah, the kidnapping they proved that to me. Hey guys, please make sure you hit the like button.
All right. So yes, she was. I agree. That was the first one. So she was. She was made. She was forced to leave from her home and go to a location where there was a crime being committed. There was a pow pow in the commission of going to commit this crime and her being forced to go. She talked very specifically about what she talked very specifically about what she saw there, what happened, who all went inside the home. She also she gave us what Kid Cudi could have given us as far as we didn't know. Well, I'm going to speak for myself. I wasn't aware there was a car chase. All he said was that he got the phone call. When he got home, no one was there. Little did I know that they made eye contact. He saw him. Kid Cudi pulls up beside them. They go on a car chase. Cudi loses them. They see the police headed towards his house. Um, and so a lot of stuff that she gave us, like I feel like Kid Cudi could have went in more. I don't know why he left that important part out that Diddy was chasing him. I don't know why he left that out. But again, all this time, she's kidnapped and she's made to go. He knew that she didn't want to go. He was like, I don't give a F if you don't want to go. Like you're going, go get dressed. And she goes there. She didn't get out the car and she had time enough to call Cassie and say, look, this is what's happening. So then Lauren London, is that right? Is that her name?
Yes.
Her name was mentioned today. I know her real well. I don't know why I'm skipping a beat on her name, but she was saying that she don't know how long or if Lauren was on that phone call, but she believes that she was briefly on that phone call. But what the deal was this is crazy. This man is crazy, Harlem. Like if what these witnesses are saying, he has no boundaries. He don't care. He's very reckless. So he's like holding her hostage until Cassie show face. So you tell Cassie, I got you. And I'm not letting you go until you show face. That's crazy to me. Cassie finally, she surfaces, she shows face, only to get kicked and stomped all the way down the driveway. He tells, according to her testimony, he tells Capricorn Clark that you can get some too. You can get it too. You don't like it, you want to get in it, you can get some too. And eventually kicks her out. She takes off walking on foot. What she did do, what I commend her for doing, and Cassie's mama testified to this. She called Cassie's mom and said he's beating the SH out of her. You can call the police, but I can't call the police. So she was afraid to call the police, but she got to someone that didn't care about what Diddy was talking about. That was her child. She called the police. So she told her mom, to call the police. Her mom calls the police. So her mom did testify that I had called the police before. So they asked her, well, did Cassie have two rooms? Like at the hotel, did she have two rooms, one room? She didn't have two rooms. She had her own room. And when she told Kid Cudi that she was in danger, he took her to another hotel where she was at a room just to make sure that she was safe.
Right.
So hold on. He said, Harlem, hop in here if it's anything you want to add real quick.
No, I just was going to say about the phone call. She had said that she had did the three-way with Lauren London because she wanted a witness to what was going on. She basically used her as a witness to the phone call, and I'm just wondering if they're going to pull Lauren London in based on that call.
And that was my big question. I was like, okay, now they've mentioned Lauren London. They've pulled her in. If she was on that phone call, will they subpoena her to come to court and testify for the simple fact to confirm, right? To be able to confirm what has been told in court.
Yeah.
If she was on that call. And so she's like, she don't quite remember how long, or she was briefly on that call. But if Lauren London was on that call, then it's a possibility that she could be subpoenaed to come testify.
Yeah, because she basically did it to use her as a witness.
Right, because she needed to say, listen. And then also I feel like, she got her on that call to say, if something happens to me, start here, because this is where we are. This is where we was. So, if I don't show up, you don't hear from me, this is where we were. That was the first time. That was one instance where she was kidnapped against her will. The second one was, she talks about where they would get ready to go catch a flight to Miami. And so Capricorn Clark had left Diddy several times and come back several times. And so this particular time she had come back, like when she came back, she had gotten like this raise and she was handling business and she was in her element. Well, on the way to the airport to catch the private jet to Miami, she noticed that the jewelry was missing. So this jewelry was rented out jewelry from what's his name, the jeweler?
Jacob the jeweler.
Jacob the jeweler. This jewelry was rented. What she found out in the box, the jewelry is gone. My question, I just wish I knew what happened to that jewelry. Like, people had in the chat had some different speculations of what they thought could have possibly happened. Like, he went and P. Diddy is the one that took the jewelry. And he's the one that he went and got it melted down and made him some more jewelry, whatever. So there was a lot of people in the chat saying different things, what they thought could have happened to the jewelry. Neither here nor there, the jewelry was gone. So she said, stop the press, stop right now, and shut down 1740, 1410, whatever the address was. She said, shut it down because this jewelry is missing, lock it down, and I want you to pat everybody down for the jewelry. The jewelry doesn't come up. What they end up doing is they end up snatching her up, taking her to this abandoned building where it's later would be like his business offices or whatever. But anyway, takes her to this building. When she gets inside the building, she hears the door lock behind her. This seems like a movie. Like, don't even seem real. He locks the door, take her to the 6th floor, which was only a 8-foot table there. And this man that was twice the size of her just sitting there smoking, chain smoking, talking about, I'm going to give you a lie detector test. Okay, you going to give me a lie detector test. I'm scared. My heart is racing. I'm upset. How are we going to get a clear test? He kept telling her, calm down. You better calm down, because if we find out that you're lying, or if you don't pass this lie detector test, you're going to find yourself in East Lake, whatever lake, river, whatever. So she's like, and he continues to, he continues to threaten her life in so many ways. And so she's freaking scared. And so she takes the lie detector test. He tells her to calm down. We can't get a clear reading. What's his name? The bodyguard that took her there?
Was it Uncle Paulie?
No, they took her to Central.
I couldn't remember which one
they
was
took her
it?
to Central Park. That was a different instance. So when they went to Central Park with Uncle Polly is
Was
when
Uncle Paulie at Central Park?
yeah, they found out that she worked for Suge Knight.
Suge Knight, right.
Yeah. And so they went to Central Park, and at Central Park, he told her then that if anything happened, I'm going to unalive you. Like, right. And from Central Park, she got to start working the next day or something like that. But it was Uncle Polly, but it was the bodyguard that took her for the jury.
For the lie detector, I don't remember then. I don't remember
Yes,
who it
I'm
was.
going to tell you who it is. His name is what was that man's name? Ruben. Ruben.
Okay,
Yeah.
Ruben. Okay.
He takes her to the wait a minute, or was it Polly? Because Ruben was at
Because Ruben was with him when
Ruben
he
was
went to Kid Cudi's,
yes,
right?
yes, 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 yes. So anyway, they take her to the building to have this like it kept her against her will for 5 days. She said he
Right.
kept coming in and out. It was Polly said that he kept coming in and out periodically, but you have to stay here for 5 days to pass a polygraph test, right? 5 days against her will. She can't leave. He said you can't leave. They had before they took her to the building, went to her Polly. It was Polly, it was Uncle Polly. Took her to her home, searched her home, and said he'll be back tomorrow. They're going to figure it out tomorrow. That's when they took her to the building the next day, and she stayed for 5 days. She also said somebody else was polygraph tested too for the jury. But anyway, she stayed there for 5 days, find out, she was telling the truth and said, oh, you can come back to work tomorrow. She goes back to work tomorrow. Another instance that I wanted to talk about was where his name was Harrell. Is that right? Where he fired her because it was Harrell or something like that. He passed away. No.
Andre Harrell, yeah.
Andre Harrell. She had put her vacation in the right way to Andre Harrell. When Andre she tells him what had happened to her, and he's like, oh, it's okay, but I got this notice to fire you, whatever. So she gets fired because she didn't turn in her vacation the right way, which she really did turn it in the right way, but they let her go at that point. She just was getting dogged every which way. And what's so sad about it, like, and everybody, you'll hear people saying this, like he would prey on vulnerable people. Her mom had passed away and her dad. So she's like young in her 20s, don't have a mom and don't have a dad. And she was good at what she did. Like she worked for Suge Knight, and then she came and she had submitted her name she had submitted her resume, and that's how she even ended up with Puff. Not because they vetted her and said that she worked for Suge Knight. They just said, hey, you want a job? We see your resume, it looks good. You're gonna work for Diddy. Well, Diddy's like, she's thinking Diddy knows that she works for Suge Knight. And so he didn't know, he said he didn't know. And that's when he was like threatening her, if anything happened, I'm going to unalive you. That's your life. So that was crazy. So not once, but twice in 3 times they kidnapped her. Yes. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. So this is why we say Capricorn Clark is the one that had the pieces to the puzzle to start building this kidnapping RICO charge, and she slam dunked it today. Like it was through the roof. She named a few people. Now, when I knew when 50's name was mentioned, I knew he was coming back. I knew he was gonna say something. He was like, "Dang, he wanted me killed." Like, so I knew he was gonna have something to say when he heard his name had been brought up. But she even talked about like Kim Porter had moved to Los Angeles. So the reason that they moved to Los Angeles, Diddy moved to Los Angeles, because Kim Porter was there. She was the one having his babies, right? So they moved to California. Well, Cassie's coming back and forth from New York, either staying with her, he would put her in a hotel, but he was seeing her still while he's there with Kim Porter. And at one point during that, like Cassie was under the impression that they're on a break, they're not together. So that's when she started talking to Kid Cudi, right? Kid Cudi even said in court that he thought they was on a break. Well, if they was on a break or not, Diddy is just Diddy, so it didn't matter. What also how Capricorn Clark was trying to protect Cassie is because she had text Capricorn Clark and said her and Kid Cudi were going to a public place. And she was like, man, do not be putting this out here on this phone, on the bad boy phone. So Capricorn Clark goes and gets her a burner phone. They asked her, how do you know about burner phones? She was like, duh, I'm from Los Angeles. Why? Well, I better know about burner phones. And so, because soon as he got in that car, he takes her phone. Like Diddy, as soon as he gets in the car, he takes her phone from Kid Cudi's house, right? So, I mean, to me, this seemed like a whole movie that he had just written for 30 years. Like they can make a lot of money if they just go back and make, and put this into a movie. It's crazy. They named Jimmy Iovine, Lauren London, Pharrell Williams, what's his name? Andre Harrell, 50 Cent, Kim Porter. Who else did they name celebrity-wise?
Chris Lightly, but he's passed.
Yeah, Chris Lightly, because Chris Lightly, so he had offered her a job. He offered Capricorn Clark a job to work with 50 Cent. She got the job, and I'll be danged if a day before she was getting to start, he passes away.
Right.
So I'm not sure that she even got to go work for 50 Cent. But because what makes me think she did is she said that over there they was telling her that she can't mess with Puff no more or something like that. And she was just like, how am I gonna not do that? So I don't know if she fully worked for him or not. So how it was crazy how he got to Capricorn's apartment and got in to even make her get dressed and go with her to Kid Cudi's. There was it happened to be a new security person down there, right? So you have to go through security to get to her apartment. And even though Bad Boy Entertainment was paying for the apartment, Puff didn't have keys to that apartment. So he lured a security guard into letting him in. And there you have it. He goes up there, beating on the door, pacing back and forth, only to have a pow pow with him, making her get up. And they was like, well, why did you go? Well, because this man got a pow pow. Like, you want me just to say no? And he's in a rage. So she ended up going. What else?
Yeah, she was good because I don't think I could have worked for him. After I got the job and you took me to Central Park and you threatened to throw me in the East River because I used to work for Suge Knight, I would have been out at that time. I would have been out at that time.
I'm tapping out because that was so crazy. But she hadn't even got a chance to work with him yet. She started like the next day, I think. Or either she was working for him, he found out that she worked for Suge. However that works.
Yeah.
But I think with her, and she talked about this, like this was her element. This is what she done, and she did what she did. She did it good. She was good at it. Puff knew she was good at it too because he kept bringing her back, and every time she come back, he would give her a step up and pay her more money.
Right.
That was just her element. Like, right. That was her livelihood. I know there's no, like, if you're not in it, you can just easily say like, why you go back, why you go back, why you go back. But that's the reason they had Miss Han or whatever her name is, that blind witness expert, to come in and kind of tell you how people that are involved or that are DV victims, how they act. She was a part of DV. Like, he abused her mentally for sure. Like, she's always wondering, am I going to wake up dead if I'm going to be unalived? You know, it's like, it's crazy. So she just didn't know. And the reason she says she didn't leave when they did that for her, kept her for 5 days, when the jewelry came up missing, is because she said, if I leave, it'll make them think that I did take it, and then
That
they
she
go
took it.
anyway. So she couldn't find her. She couldn't make herself leave. But yeah, he kept saying, you need to calm down before you be put in the East River. Man, how am I calm down? What you want me to do? So all of the kids go. Did you have something?
No, I was saying yeah, but was it Capricorn's testimony that she mentioned about Cassie and him would be in a hotel one side of the week, and also Kim and him would be in a hotel one side of the week.
Well, so she said, yeah, she said, how much time did he spend with Kim? He would come out and spend about a week with her, a week or so with Kim. And then they said, how much time would he spend with Cassie? And so he would spend about that much time with Cassie as well. So all along, he's playing Kim too. I don't know what moved Kim out to LA, but she ended up moving to LA, and he goes following her out to LA. Granted, she's starting to have his kids or whatever, but I don't know, Harlem, for the life of me, why people get money and lose their rabbit. But for me and Puff, he was brought up this way. Allegedly. If you go back and you hear the stories of like that guy that was raised up with him, that his mom took him in and he kind of stayed in the basement, him and his mom.
Yeah.
They would see these parties and all the stuff. And that's just the life that he knew. But they would dress real good. Diddy was always, as a kid, dressed to the nines. His mom was always dressed to the nines. And he even did that as an adult. You always found him dressed pretty decent every time you saw him. He looks really good in his clothes. But just his lifestyle. But I'm just like, and then when he got the money and he got all this power, he went nuts. Like I can't imagine. I can't imagine going through that. I can't imagine listen, if you kick me and beat me one time and I can get away, you can best believe I ain't coming back. And matter of fact, I called the police. I'm calling the police on you, I'm telling. But he has such a fear in them and their careers in his hand. Like there was so much that they were banking on to walk away or turn him in. But somebody needed to make him accountable. And I guess, it's all in due time. So he's being held accountable. We'll see if he's going to be held accountable at the end of this. Alberta says the diddler owes her money. She wasn't getting paid. Also, had Capricorn working all those hours and no sleep for us. She said 4 hours a day and night. She said for the most part, all she got was 4 hours. And did you see, Alberta? She also said that she was losing her hair. Like she was so stressed out. She started losing her hair. She was losing weight. Like it was just, I don't know that I want to be in a place where I work so hard that I'm so stressed out that I'm losing my hair. I'm losing my mind. I don't know if I'm going or coming. I'm only sleeping for 4 hours. You can start being delusional just off of that. You don't have to be on no drugs. Lack of sleep will start having you be delusional. Then you put the drugs on top of that. It's just a crazy life. I listened to our girl, Simone. Girl, is that legal? And so she was saying that that all of the kidnapping, which we said all the kidnapping charges came from Capricorn Clark so far, not Cassie. Cassie, I'm just trying to see what did Cassie secure for the prosecution, in your opinion, Harlem?
I think Cassie, because I don't think she was the star witness. Because the star witness, I don't think that you're gonna start the trial off with your
star,
with your main piece,
right?
I think Cassie's story basically opened us up to see all of the ins and outs
I think
because
so.
he used people to help with the FOs, the freak offs. People had to set up, had to clean up. So, those were workers, the sex workers would they fall into part of the sex trafficking? Because weren't
So,
some of them
so yes.
traveling?
So they would if they were traveling, right? And they were traveling to
Yeah,
that. But somebody said, and I want to ask Simone, somebody said if it would have to be that they traveled against their will. They traveled, and when they got there, they had relations against their will. But I don't think so. In the R. Kelly case, it didn't wasn't that. They just automatically said that's what he was doing, and he got charged for it.
because see, with the R. Kelly case, he got charged with the Mann Act as well. The
Yes,
Mann Act was the traveling from state to state. Does
right.
the Mann Act fall under RICO though?
Yes, that's what it is.
Okay, it's the traveling from state to state. Yeah,
Yeah. And so Simone was like, so she said, so that's what Cassie did. I agree with you 10,000 and 10 million times. Yes, I agree because she was just an opener. Like everybody was eyes all on them. And what are we going to do first? How are we going to strategically build our way up and show where there's the RICO charge, where there's the kidnapping, where there's the coercion and all that stuff, right? But if we
right.
start with Kathy, because we got this video and we know that she was the main source of the FOs, the freak offs, that she was she was his girl, but yet she was supposed to be working and having 10 albums. Like you're right, Harlem. I would agree. They wanted to show not their strongest witness. So I think each time they're getting stronger and stronger because I really felt like Kid Cudi was a strong witness too. So they take Cassie, bring Cassie in to give us the basis of what it looked like with Diddy. Give us the basis of what the freak off was, why you had this baby oil, why all this was going on. What did it look like inside of that? What was happening when you guys had that incident in that hallway, all those things. And then name a couple of people, bring in a couple of escorts, to tell what they did. Then I
Yeah,
think
because from Cassie's story, you get Kid Cudi, you get Capricorn, as well as those other assistants to
yeah.
corroborate a lot of things that Cassie said.
Yeah, so if you look at it, they're building this case like a storyline. You know,
Yeah,
it started here, and the story just gets better and better and better. And that's how first. Because at first I was like, "Ooh, they not like Cassie didn't do nothing for me," as what I thought. Her mom didn't do anything for me like I thought. We would get, but her mom did show us the extortion piece, the 20 million, the $20,000, the extortion.
20,000.
But then he gives it back. Like he was just brain effing them. You know what I'm saying? Like messing with their minds. He didn't need that $20,000. He just was seeing if he could get out of them. And if you don't, this is what I'm gonna do to your daughter. This man, oh no. He also wanted Capricorn to hold the white or pink. Yeah, so she talked about also, it's just we're scared, I'm going all over the place, but she also talked about like that so this piece where he's having a worker to get rugs, right, for him to ordering her, that's her job was to go get rugs or carry the rugs around with her. And that was part of what did she tell us? The substances obtained, he called it up. It's something about the worker getting the rugs. And I'll bring that back to y'all whenever I get to that. But anyway, yeah, so he had her have her in her bag, and he would get prescriptions in her name, and she would carry that bag around, Alberta. You're right. With the
Yeah,
stuff.
it's something that is called. I forgot what it's called
It
because
is. And she said it today too.
they're also, I'm sorry, because
No,
I don't
I'm
want to
sorry.
forget
You
it.
go ahead.
They're also saying about the hotel room. the medication that the prescriptions that were found in Frank Black's name.
Yes.
Remember, Cassie, like I said, Cassie brought it to us.
And,
Cassie said his alias was Frank Black. And then you see prescriptions in the hotel room when they pick him up in the name of Frank Black. And it's something with that. I have to go back and find it because I just listened to it.
yeah, I got all these notes, and she said it's in these notes. So if you find it, let us know. But also, Capricorn Clark confirmed he used a Frank Black or he used Frank White.
Frank White, yeah.
She said both names. She said he would either use Frank Black or he would either use Frank White. So Frank Black was on those prescription bottles. And then, like Alberta said, to her point, he would have her carry it, and then he would put it in her name. And she didn't even, like, I didn't tell you could do that. You put him in my name. And so she just carrying this stuff around. But she said, back to Simone, girl, is that legal? She said all the kidnapping was on Capricorn Clark, not Cassie. She said there was the stroke today. They showed a strong evidence of for the RICO. She said she said he showed criminal things like getting the rugs. You know what I'm saying? Having the pow, kidnapping. So all those things. And she said that a lot of people are co-conspirators, like his employees. She said they're going to have to start calling these bodyguards, and either they're going to testify against him or they're going to be co-conspirators, because a lot of times these bodyguards are there, just like what's his name I told y'all, Ruben stood there and watched while he kicked Cassie all the way down the driveway. And she said, Capricorn Clark said that when she did get out, when she took off walking on foot, she called her mom, Cassie's mom, and she called Ruben's brother and was like, it was D-Rock, right? And said, call your brother and tell him to stop him. He's beating the crap out of her. And then, oh gosh, it's so much.
Yeah, but she's not the only one. The other assistant as well testified that he had to get the rugs under his name as well. And Roger Bonds has said it in an interview as well.
Yes, so he was using his workers' names, and some of them didn't even give him permission to do that. So I'm like, what pharmacy allowed you not to show a ID to get rugs under somebody else's name? How did that work? Do they call it in? Do they have a doctor? He's got a hired doctor or somebody calling the prescriptions in. Have to.
Yeah, he had to have a doctor.
So who's the doctor calling the drugs in, the prescriptions in?
Yeah, I guess they'll have him too.
Maybe we're gonna hear about that, because you can't call, like I can't call and say, hey, this is Marva, call me in some ecstasy or some Xanax. Yeah, I want 10 milligram Xanax, right? You got to have a physician doing that,
right?
So maybe we're gonna see that. And then, and I want to know if they ever got to I don't think they ever got to the bottom of who stole the jewelry, but I want to know so bad. There's a lot of stuff I want to know so bad.
I don't think nobody stole it. Me, quite honestly, I think he probably took it.
Girl, that's what they was kept. I mean, when you would look at all the in the chat, and you would look at when they were talking about that, and you was looking down in the chat, they were saying that ninja got that jewelry and gonna make her go through all that mental stuff. She don't know where the jewelry is, but he done took the jewelry.
Yeah,
girl, probably. What else? So that's what Jean Gill said yesterday. Gosh, it was a lot. Started off.
And remember when he called, they were in the hotel or were they in the apartment or wherever they were, and he called Cassie in the room, made her stand up, made her sit down, follow instructions, and said, that's why y'all don't have a man,
That's why
because
you beat.
y'all can't do things like this. And again, it was Lauren London, the chef, and Capricorn.
That's who it was in there. Yes, she sure did. I almost would bet that Lauren is going to be subpoenaed. She was too close to Cassie. They've been friends for over 20 years. She's
Yeah.
close, but it's just crazy because my thing is not charged up. Hold on, don't you die on me. Oh, my charger. What's the problem here? But anyway, but it's just crazy because I haven't heard Lauren London's name a lot when you talk about Cassie and Diddy at all.
You said you haven't?
I have not. Have you? Before today, you had? Okay.
Lauren and Cassie were models for Sean John.
Oh.
Word on the curb is Lauren was part of the harem, the Diddy harem. She was part of those FOs.
So what about her man then? Was he acting?
It was said that he was involved in it as well.
Oh my gosh! Don't say that. Ew.
I don't know.
Well, I've seen that picture.
I don't know, but
her and her man was such a cute couple, and not Diddy. Ew.
But do you remember when he passed? Kodak Black is the one that said that Diddy was sleeping with her.
Yeah, sure was. Sure was. Sure did say that.
Yeah. So Lauren's been around for a long time. She was close with Cassie and Capricorn.
It's just crazy. I don't recall Lauren for whatever reasons. Like I'm telling you, before I knew Diddy what he was doing, like I followed him, like I was a fan. And I know a lot. I just don't know. I don't know Lauren's name. So, or maybe I just wanted to disregard it and not believe that she was in it. So anyway, I want to talk about this man that filed this just really quick. So I listened to Donat's interview. Shout out to you, Donat. He got the interview of the man that we talked about, who him and the 13 and 14-year-old went to the hotel party and was essayed and rugged up. They gave him rugs or whatever. And so he got him on his channel tonight and did an interview. Here's what's crazy to me. I'm just going to say it. At the end of the interview, towards the end of the interview, he said that if you just think about it, R. Kelly got all this time in the federal, right? In the feds. And that he said in the feds, you can do things to get lesser time. And he said what he's thinking, and I can't believe he said this out loud, is that he's thinking that R. Kelly kind of tipped them off to P. Diddy to get P. Diddy to go down. And now we all know that if P. Diddy goes down, he's not going to go down by himself. And so he's just going to start. So it's just going to become a trickle effect. And he asked the question, do you think Jay-Z will be a part of that? But he wouldn't speak on Jay-Z. He was like, I don't know nothing about Jay-Z. I don't know nothing about him. So I don't know if I believe that about R. Kelly, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people R. Kelly could have took down with him.
Right.
No. But I was
I don't believe it either, because I think that if he was going to say something, he would have said something at the
Right.
beginning
Because he
instead
still
of
got the
sitting and
same.
serving. He's already been there 6 years.
Yeah, and he still got the same time that they gave him in the beginning. So there was no deduction off of his time, and he had ample time to bring people down that he could have brought down with him, and he didn't do it. So I don't know that I don't believe that would happen. But at the end of the day, nothing would shock me, but I just can't wrap my mind around that. I just don't believe that part.
Yeah, because I'm kind of iffy about the guy with the lawsuit because he says that he had been in the feds himself. He had just got out. That's why he had just filed the lawsuit. But you
And
filed a lawsuit for two minors that you don't know any information about. He don't know. He don't have no information for them. He has
right.
no way to contact them or anything. How do you file a lawsuit for other people?
Yeah, and just put them out there like that. And he said, "This ain't really about me." Like he ain't filed a lawsuit for him. And Denard was like, "Well, didn't you get SA too?" And he was like, "Yeah, yeah." Like, yeah, I don't know about him. I
Yeah,
don't know.
and then he put Gene Deal out there, and Gene and Denat ended up getting into it at the courthouse today.
Today, because I know the other day, Denard was following Gene and was saying stuff, and Tisa kind of got in between them and kind of was doing her thing, and they walked on off, and Denard kind of mentioned that today, that Tisa did that, on purpose. She saw me or whatever, but I didn't know they had words today.
Yeah, something happened in the overflow room, and it spilled outside.
So Gene Deal was in the overflow room,
Yeah,
and so was
yeah,
Denard.
yeah.
Oh Lord.
And he was questioning him, asking him about what this guy said because the guy tried to pull him into whatever with the minors.
Yeah, with the minors, and said that he believes that he was part of the FOs, that he had attended an FO, like he was in the mix in the FO.
Right, right.
Oh no, girl.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Gene to come on to address it because I
Me
know he
too.
has something to say.
Because I know the first time that Denard had approached Gene and he was saying all this, he's like, "Boy, don't play with me." And Denard just kept saying what he had to say. I was like, "Lord, please cover Denard, keep him safe out there in New York." But Denard, and he say what he want to say, what be on his mind.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
didn't know that
but
they got into it.
I don't
So,
know if Gene is the right one for him to mess with.
yeah, that's why I'm like, ooh, just leave people alone. Just go do your coverage and be safe. But yeah, I wanted to kind of kind of talk about the R. Kelly thing. I just don't feel like that has happened at all. If that's the case, then how come R. Kelly's time has not been deducted? Like, why is he still serving the same time?
Why would his lawyer file appeals if that
Right.
was the
If that
case?
was the case. Exactly. Exactly.
She's been going through the proper channels filing appeals. So why
And
would she
more than
file
one.
appeals if she already knows, oh, he's done this? So,
Wouldn't be no reason to file the appeal.
right.
That's just wasting money if that was the case. So I believe, yeah, I agree with you on that. So
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's a lot. So my next thing is I'm wondering if, like we said, if Lauren London is going to be called. I'm wondering, really wondering about KK, um, for the simple fact that it could go either way with her. I think to avoid her going to jail, though, I think that she's going to be testifying for the um, prosecution. But I'm really, really, really concerned about where she's going to be. If she is for the prosecution, as we talked about before, I think it'll be like that'll just seal the deal. I wonder if um, I wonder if any of the bodyguards are going to be called, if Roger Bond is going to be subpoenaed, if he's coming to testify. And with him coming out saying about the loyalty thing, I think he's letting us know I tried to be loyal to him. Now I got to go do what I got to do. That's not what he said, but is that the message he's sending? And is he going to come and testify for the prosecution? I'm wondering, are they going to, is this bodyguard Ruben still around? Since he's the one that went inside the home with Diddy, where's he at? A lot of questions.
Yeah, it is.
What else?
But I think that the other victim, Mia, is supposed to be testifying this week.
Oh, I was going to ask you about Mia and the Jane Doe. Is it John Doe or Jane Doe? Jane Doe.
Jane Doe. Mm.
So we got KK. You got some more assistants, right? I'm wondering is out of that Mia and that Jane Doe that they're talking about, could one of them be KK? Or no?
So I don't think so.
Do you think KK, your honest opinion, do you think she's going to testify for the defense?
I think KK is going to testify for the prosecution.
Okay, but then who do you think Mia and the Jane Doe is?
Mia, I've been doing some research trying to figure out.
Okay.
It's a assistant that I found that I think that it may be, but I don't want to put her name out there.
I was going to say, what's her name? Text me what you tell me who you think, because
I came across the name, and that's kind of what it's making me think. I'm not sure, but I'll text you her name so you can see. And then the Jane Doe, they're saying, because I had thought the Jane Doe might have been the Jane Doe that filed the civil lawsuit, because her lawsuit is now sealed. But I don't think that it's her, because they're saying that this Jane Doe has not filed a lawsuit.
Oh, so it may not be her.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering, why would they seal her lawsuit after it had got filed? But I don't know who I'm thinking the Jane Doe may be Daphne Joy, but I'm not sure.
Oh, I heard that name. Yeah. Alberta, you still with us?
It's a single mother that was involved with him up until 2024.
2024?
Yeah, because
Young Miami?
I don't think it's Young Miami. I don't think she's involved in the case. If she's involved, she may be a witness for the defense.
Yeah. Ooh, I don't know. I wouldn't know. So, like, at this point right now, do we not know who's testifying tomorrow? Or are they totally done with Capricorn Clark?
I think they're done with Capricorn. It's supposed to be a LA police officer, a LA fire person, and I think it's a stylist or designer or something that work with him.
Okay.
And I don't know who else, but I know that Mia is supposed to be this week too. So maybe if they finish with those, she'll probably start her testimony tomorrow.
I'm gonna be on it, girl. I told you when I be at work what I be doing. Yeah, I'm in my ear writing notes right now. Let me write them down. Wouldn't you hate to be the one in his seat where you're sitting there and a lot of people that you had an encounter with are now sitting in your face testifying against you by right. But like, I wonder what he's thinking, because they said today he had his hands clenched when Capricorn Clark was testifying, and he was just like, you could kind of see like he could have really got mad today about some things.
Yeah.
But I would hate to be him.
Yeah. Only his mother came today.
Yeah, I saw that. Where's everybody at?
Mm-hmm.
The twins might be on a trip for their graduation, possibly. But like,
Yeah, they may
where?
be.
Yeah, where's everybody else at? Like, mom just came along. At the end of the day, no matter what, your mama gonna be there for you,
Right.
right, right or wrong. So at least he still got her. And so anyway, this was a good day. And on top of that, we reached our goal of 9K. So this was a really good day. The prosecution, like we said, had a good day. The defense is like, uh-oh, let's get back to this round table. How we gonna recover from this today? Because yeah, they went there today. Other than that, you guys, I'm gonna let y'all go. I enjoy doing this. I really do. Um, and I hope y'all have a good night. If y'all have any information that you want to share with me, as always, you can send it to me or you can send it to Harlem. And we'll talk about it in the chat. So thank y'all, and y'all have a good night, okay?
Good night.
Good night, Harlem girl.
Okay.
See y'all later. Good night, Alberta.